Who will actually come is not yet known. Charlotte Lomas, Sky News.
Support for Britain's special forces in the field is to be cut with the loss of 600 posts. Personnel currently providing backup and logistics to the SAS and SBS are to return to their own regiments. Sky's Alistair Bunkle reports.
Special Forces operations don't just happen. SAS and SBS soldiers rely on a sizable support network for logistics, transport, force protection and many other roles. And this network has grown as the Afghan conflict has progressed. The reasoning goes, within government anyway, that once out of Afghanistan, the demands on the UK Special Forces will reduce.
There is already considerable paranoia in the British Armed Forces, and justifiable paranoia, it should be said, because last month a third tranche of redundancies was announced. 5,300 jobs will go, mainly in the army. But the government, the Ministry of Defence, insists that this move is about redeployment, not about redundancies.
Officially, this is just a proposal, but the fact that the numbers are so exact gives some hint to just where the government is on it. 156 posts to be closed in the Special Forces support group, 600 to go from the wider network that helps them.
The government cannot use the privacy of Special Forces operations as a way to camouflage undeclared cuts against Special Forces or their support group. We rely now more than ever on our Special Forces, and to cut them in this way that's reported would be self-defeating.
But the idea of even touching the jewels that are the SAS and SBS is, well, dangerous territory.
You know, the Special Forces soldier like myself is just a guy at the end of delivering the good news. Everybody else in that chain to get you there, gets you fed, watered, you know, to get you there, you know, to look after whatever you've left behind. The whole thing is just critical. You know, you can't strip out the guts and then expect there not to be an impact along the line.
Mali has reminded governments, if ever they needed it, that the threat of Islamic terrorism persists. The UK government must at least consider and therefore prepare for the prospect that the country's armed forces could be drawn into missions in North Africa. If or when that happens, the skills of Britain's Special Forces will be vital.
Heavyweight military action with battle units on the ground, like we've seen in Mali will probably become a relative rarity. Clever, smart use of diplomacy, of special forces, of aid, of assistance, and always acting ahead of the events will become much more the norm.
All right, Paul Murphy, let's get the squad away.
Take resources away and the logic suggests that what remains will be inferior. But the counter-argument runs that the Special Forces once existed with a smaller support group and they're just being asked to do the same again. As ever, though, with defence cuts, it's about money, the challenges of the future, and in no small way, pride. Alistair Bunkle, Sky News.
The family of a 16-year-old who was fatally stabbed in Blackpool have described her